Mic check. Mic check. What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of the TinkerTribe podcast. I am your host, Greg Dowd, and what's up, y'all? It's been a little while since I have come on and done a stream. I've been being a little lame lately and took a couple weeks off with no no announcement. So I apologize for that. I have been working real hard, real hard at my day job. It was like we had this crazy winter event that kept everybody off the roads for like a week because it was pure ice, very icy, so much ice, and ice like you've never seen before. So it got pretty nasty, and ever since then, coming back to the day job and getting back into the things there, everything picked up a lot, and so been a pretty constant, just trying to catch up kind of thing, and put me pretty wiped out the last couple of weeks, but I've got some good energy, got some pep in my step tonight, and just wanted to get on here, give a live stream. Got some cool stuff happening in our local area. Got some stuff to promote for some things happening in our local underground network, local Agora, and promoting some of my other friends out there that are doing some cool stuff. So, want to share some of that with you guys, and also just some recent stuff that I've been going through, catching you guys up a little bit on what's been happening with me, some things that I'm working on, some things that we're plodding away at, and one of the things that I wanted to talk about, like doing the stream tonight, anything that you're gonna do, you got to get the reps in. And the last couple weeks, I wasn't really feeling like I had something to say, or I wasn't really prepared. But for giving putting out a stream, but that's just being lame. And you got to get out and you got to do the reps. And that's something that I've been learning by working on my personal health journey and getting more into my personal fitness. So I've got some things to share with that tonight as well. And we're going to go from there. So welcome to the stream. This podcast, the reason why I started this podcast was to share some things to show people that there is alternatives to the way that things currently run in our system, and that we can build the new things that make the old system obsolete. And that's really the goal here, is to throw out some white pills, share some things that I'm doing in my personal life to bring some more freedom into my personal life, some more self-reliance, and share some of those lessons learned with you guys that come and check out the podcast. So that's what this is all about. This show is, my goal is to provide value to the folks that tune in, that you can take something away from each one of these episodes, and strive to bring on guests that are doing similar things in their lives, that are makers, homesteaders, agorists, people of a self-reliance type mindset, people that are planting the trees that the shade they may never rest under. And I think that's the key to anything worthwhile. Like I mentioned earlier, anything that's worthwhile is, it takes a lot of effort. It takes tons of time and continuous work to keep leveling up, I guess I would say. You gotta put in the reps, you gotta put in the hours, you gotta put in the time. And it comes with everything. It comes like the relationships you want to build, the if you're working on building local community, the things that you want to do to be successful in your life. It's not going to happen overnight. And I talk to a lot of people, and one of the barriers for myself before getting into starting doing something like this was the fear of judgment from other people. And I talk to a lot of people, and it seems to be a lot of folks hang up as well, is that they they want to do something and get some ideas out there, but how many how many ideas are you going to share within maybe just people that you know at work, or you have maybe maybe a local community you could talk about these things with. But think about the amount of people that you may not even know that you might be able to influence or share some ideas with, to a lot wider spectrum by putting something out there. So uh, when you first start something, ain't nobody gonna listen to it. So until you get really good, that's one thing that I've been listening to recently. I've been getting into the Andy Frisella podcast, and then John Willis and Nicole Sauce and um, Jack Spirko recently had a podcast where they talked about some of these things, and they were talking about, like, when you start in the beginning, ain't nobody gonna watch you. So you know the, don't even worry about that. Don't even worry about the judgment of other people. And these people, you're probably never gonna meet them in person. Like, some people you will, but that fear as a hang up is, don't let that hold you back. Just get started with something, and you're gonna learn and you're gonna grow as you keep putting in those reps. Angie Marie, what's up? Hello, found you some time ago through the videos from Self Reliance Festival. Fear of judgment definitely holds me back. For sure. I mean, it's like a big thing that um, is a holdback for people. But like I said, ain't nobody gonna even watch your stuff until you start getting really good at it. So it's one of those things, you put in the hours, you put in the work, you keep adjusting and refining your technique as you go along. And then once you start to find your voice, you start to find how you can express those feelings to other people, and you can create something that is of people find a lot of value and find entertaining or in some way, then you're gonna see like more people coming towards your stuff. But you got to put in the hours to get there. So if you never get started, you're always going to be at the beginning thinking or wishing that, man, I wish I could do that. I wish I could do something, that thing that I really like, and I think people could really learn from what I'm doing here, and it would be helpful. And so, whatever it is that you are passionate about, and like you could talk to somebody for hours about, like what you nerd out about, that's something to consider. And thinking about the people that you can, you know, reach beyond, that little scope of your family, your friends, people at work. And a lot of times, like for me, the people at work think I'm kind of weird. And it's one of those things where it's like, oh, Greg, you're just being weird. so so find the other folks that resonate with what you're saying. And I think that you do that by putting yourself out there. And who cares if you're weird? I mean, I don't like. Don't be an NPC. I mean, NPCs are boring, man. You got to have some weirdness to you to be interesting. Uh, so yeah, I just want to just throw that out there as we get started here. So yeah, I've been off for a couple of weeks. Just been worn out there for a little bit, being lame, jumping back into it, and just catching you guys up for what I've been working on. Talking about community, it's one of the big themes on my podcast because at one point in my life, I was going the lone wolf approach and just thinking that I could do everything on my own. And when you get out and you attempt to do something, which is what I did, which was go out on a piece of property on my own and work toward developing that property, I had a bunch of setbacks along that way. I I had some solar set up. My battery bank and my solar died. So I ran out of power on the site. I had some people steal stuff off of my land because I wasn't there all the time. I had car troubles during that time as well. So a lot of this stuff really stacked up on me and halted my progress towards my goal of developing this piece of land and being out there full time and doing the homestead thing and being more self reliant and having something for myself. And I realized that during that process that doing everything on your own, I mean, if things get, I mean, right now as the system is in place and things are still functioning, that I could potentially get away with doing that for a little while. But in order to get through some kind of time which I foresee happening where things get a lot harder, just being on my own is not going to work. And so a lot of what I like to talk about is building community. And through the Freedom Cell Network, through freedomcells.org, if you guys are looking for some community around you, like saying, "Hey, I'm thinking about all this stuff. I'm seeing all this stuff happening in the world, and like I'm getting a little freaked out, and I want to find some more people around me that think the way I do." Check out freedomcells.org. Go to a homesteading event. Go to a gardening class. Go to your local makerspace. Go check out a ham radio club. There's a ton of people in all those areas that are going to be like-minded type people that you won't feel so alone. At least you'll have some folks around you that you can share ideas with. Maybe you can do um, some agorism together. You guys can trade together. Keep through trade and the other forms of capital other than money. There's all types of forms of capital. And Curtis Stone recently put out a good thing on Twitter talking about the different forms of capital. And it's not just money. It's your social capital. It's your, um, it's all those connections you've made. It's, um, just being having a useful skill for other people. All these things are different forms of capital that it's not just the money. What's up, Logan? Hideaway Homestead. Uh, And for real, you guys got to go to his channel because he's putting out daily content, really good information on all this stuff about self reliance. He's living it, and he is kicking butt and taking names over there at Hideaway Homestead. So go check out his channel. I make all my videos with a cell phone and do everything unscripted. I could have waited for insert excuse. We need as many people as we can get sharing their insights. Yes, yes, brother. Yes, yeah. Don't wait for the perfect scenario. Uh, One of the best forms of capital is social capital. Yes, it really is like being a good person, being somebody that's loyal and dependable, and that is gonna show up when times get tough for you. Like that goes so far, and you know the soft skills. Just being the lone wolf guy is not gonna help at if things get a lot harder, and so it's really important to find the like-minded folks around you. And I've got over joining the Freedom Cell Network and putting myself out there on the Freedom Cell Network. It just started with one of who has become a really good friend of mine reaching out to me through there, and from there we started a local group meeting and started to meet on a monthly basis. And from there we've met a ton of great people. Like this last meeting we had Tim Pickens, who worked for the Virgin Galactic Company, and I think bought. I think the I think is for Spaceship One, where they had the like airplane rocket that took off, and he showed up there. His buddy Bill, and then Greg Allison were at our latest meeting, and these guys were hobbyist rocketeers, rocket scientists that sent up these balloons and launched rockets off of them. And we just had a really great time talking about, what they were doing back in those days and like sending off these rockets, and that launched those guys into different paths. And like Tim put Tim Pickens into contact to work with the Spaceship One guys and going and doing all these really interesting things. And so you never know, if this is a unique area that I live in around the space capital in Huntsville, Alabama, where sometimes some interesting folks might come in and pop their head in. But yeah, talking more about community tonight. One of our folks in the Freedom Cell group is putting on a local mushroom workshop where they're going to teach how you can inoculate and cultivate your own edible mushrooms. And so that link is down in the description, and the event is coming up on March the 9th, and they are going to be um, teaching you how to inoculate a log with different edible mushrooms, oyster and shiitake mushrooms. I took their class, I think uh, last year in 2023, and walked away with oyster and shiitake mushroom log. I learned a ton about mushrooms. Uh, Lee and Deanna that put on this workshop are super knowledgeable in a lot of things that are like medicinal plants and herbs, and took us on a wild edible plant identification walk with one of the folks in our group. They're super knowledgeable, and if you go to this workshop, you're going to take a lot away from it. It's going to be in Cullman, Alabama on March 9th. The link to the event is in the video description, and if you use the code TinkerTribe, I believe you get some money off your ticket purchase. And so please go check that out. I'm going to pull up the site where you can check that out here in 1 minute. But very cool workshop. You go and talk about community. This is one really great way of building community, is by putting on these workshops with folks in your network. And you know, I think it's like every time you put something on and you do something like this, you're going to learn from it. You're going to grow every time, and this is a great opportunity for agorism to take place as well, because I believe that Logan is going to be down there, and then might be an opportunity. He's got some stuff that he's got that. He's growing out on his property. I bought some trees from Logan, some mulberry trees. Logan's been working on propagating a bunch of trees and starting trees from seeds, and he's a really great asset to our network. And he's doing a lot of great stuff. Um, so yeah, let me pull up this site here so you guys can check out what I'm talking about and see where you can go and grab some tickets. So yeah, if there's anything that you have that you think has value for other people, like putting on some kind of local workshop is one great way of doing this. And uh, this was the last workshop. Got together with Logan. We picked up some materials to help build like a platform where we could work on these logs together. And so kind of came together to help Lee and Deanna put on the workshop last time, and went really well. I thought it was really awesome workshop. So let me see if I can get this pulled up here and throw that up there. So yeah, Saturday, March 9th, mushroom log inoculation workshop, and the link is in the description through eventbrite.com. Tickets are $30, and it is definitely going to be a really great workshop that you're going to get a lot of value out of, and you're going to meet some really cool folks. If you want to meet some like-minded folks, if you're in the North Alabama area or in and around Cullman or Birmingham, I know they're putting on a workshop in Birmingham on the 2nd as well. Um, but if you're catching this live stream, if you're in Alabama, if you want to come out and check out a really cool workshop that you're going to get a lot out of, then please sign up and come meet some really cool people. I plan on being there. I haven't purchased my ticket through the website yet, but I plan on going, and I'll be communicating with Lee, Indiana, about going to that. So, uh, really great thing, really great way of building community and where people can learn from each other. So that's one of the things that I wanted to share with you guys tonight, and I will also be talking about that later, as well as promoting some of the other things, other folks that are in the area that have stuff going on that you can go check out as well. So, if anyone wants to, Logan Hideaway Homestead, if anyone wants to geek out about trees or soil building, it will be a great time to do it. Yes, yes. Yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about is really building your soil. And if you're struggling with gardening or anything like that, a big issue a lot of times is getting your soil right and the microbes in the soil, promoting the microbes in the soil, and all that is a real big part of doing that. And there are going to be folks here that can help you figure that out as well. Uh, also met a really awesome guy through our local network that Alan Booker. He does a lot with permaculture and is a permaculture designer and been doing it for a long time. And he is an excellent dude, super wealth of knowledge that I think we talked about uh, for a few hours about how you could design your own like geothermal heating and cooling the last time, and the stuff that they're doing to figure that out and like simulate it so that it can be done repeatably with like the different places that you're at. And looking to see if I can get Alan on for a podcast episode in the future sometime to share his story and to talk about some geek out on some permaculture stuff. So let's see. So we'll get back to that and make sure to revisit that at the end of the podcast tonight. Just gonna hang out for a little while and talk about a few things. So recently, I also was able to pick up some free materials from the neighbor at my parents' place here. They had a bunch of rough cut lumber that they weren't going to use, and so the other day I was able to work with my dad, and we picked up a whole big old stack of lumber, rough cut lumber from them. So I think I posted a picture of that on my Twitter there. So let me pull this up for you guys and show you what I'm talking about here. So check this out. Yeah, the neighbor was, didn't want all this rough cut lumber, and so we picked it up, and the possibilities for this lumber are so numerous that I've got a friend at the makerspace. He takes some of this stuff with the live edges, and he can make like really cool stuff out of it. And then just some of these are like 1 inch cuts of slab of this lumber, and thinking about doing some custom art stuff with it, or some of them are thick enough to maybe use as like rafters for like a greenhouse thing or like a roof structure. Um, Thinking about like just maybe like a cowboy shack or outdoor kitchen or something like that to use with this. He also gave us some of the tin. Basically he has this old shop next door, and he's working on rehabbing the shop and putting up something nicer, or at least like fixing up the shop a little bit over there. And so yeah, we got a pretty nice stack of all that wood, and threw something down to keep the wood up off the ground, and then all the spacers, and through this old shed roof we had laying around. Every man needs his junkyard, especially when you're doing the self-reliance type stuff. So we had this old shed roof laying around. This is over it, and then came over with a big tarp, and my dad covered that with a big old tarp. And then got some roofing material as well from him, some metal roofing material. He took off that shed or garage that you can see in the background there that they're working on fixing up. So yeah, whenever your neighbor has some stuff that they want to get rid of, that's that's another great use. That see if you can figure out a use for the materials. Maybe you don't have a project in mind right away, but but yeah, I guess you got to find a spot for it, and you do have to come up with a project or something in mind. But anytime that you have the ability to get some free resources, I think that's worth jumping on. Uh, Angie Marie, whatever gets done with those, it'll be gorgeous. Thank you. Yeah, we'll figure something out with it. I'm thinking probably an outdoor kitchen. Uh, One of the things that I have is this laser engraving machine, and thinking about ways that I can use it to make some kind of cool arts projects and stuff. And so a few ideas that I've had is um, like the cutting boards that my buddy does up at the wood shop. He does these like cool fractal patterns on it, and thinking that like I could do something like that maybe with some cool laser engraved stuff on there. Or uh, the other things I was thinking about was like doing some coffee coasters, some coasters with some different art on them, and been thinking about different ideas for some art to do that with. I'm not really an artist, but I've been looking at maybe using some AI tools to help me do some designs. And some of the ideas that I've been thinking of is like fictional businesses of the like some futuristic fictional businesses, like drone defense systems. Like you put out a drone, and it's like there to intercept anybody that's coming on to do some ill will towards you. And also this recent undercover videos coming out with like James O'Keefe, and all the like these hot chicks are going on Tinder dates with like this these people in government and these businesses, and like even the gay dudes on Grinder are coming in and getting these undercover videos. And so thinking about like thoughts for the cause or something like that. And making like some art, like undercover expose thoughts for the cause. I don't know. Just kind of thinking of some kind of silly stuff um, that I could put on some cool things, like some useful things as art. Um, so That happened really recently, and then recently in my life, got some heavy news from a good friend of mine from the local Freedom Cell that he's got some health issues and got diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma recently, and was out helping them out. They're focusing on getting him better, their family, and so they had some chickens that they didn't have a whole lot of time to take care of because they want to focus on getting my buddy better. And so went over there and picked up their chickens, and now I'm raising their chickens in the backyard, and back to a surplus in egg production, which I'll probably be bringing some of those eggs to the mushroom workshop, um, because from local predators, we've got them in this electric poultry netting, but had local predators. We think it's probably a fox that is probably jumping the fence and grabbing the chickens and trying to drag it out of the fence, but he gets shocked, and so he's just leaving them there and then jumping back over the fence. And we've been seeing a fox running around out there. And so, uh, anyway, I lost some chickens due to predators. Took on my friend's chickens, and he has been working on immediately after he got the word about the diagnosis or the potential of it being cancer. He began to fast, and right now he's like deep into a fast, and some of the symptoms he was having have been going away, and his heart rate is doing a lot better, and and so really got to spend some time with him over this weekend, and we had just a guy's day and did some shooting and kind of hung out, but yeah, pretty heavy news. I'm really positive that he's, seeing a couple different doctors. Like one of them, they want him to go straight to into chemo, and then he's got this functional medicine doctor that has, you know, been getting him on a regimen of like high dose of vitamin C, and uh, he's continuing the fasting, and they're gonna check back up with him this week. So to see, probably do another scan on him to see if what he's been doing with the fasting is helping. And uh, he's been doing a lot of research into this, and I've been looking into it recently as well. That there are a ton of benefits from doing a prolonged fast, especially if you come up with a diagnosis, a cancer diagnosis. And so he's been, his spirits have really lifted since he's been doing the fasting, and he's been sticking to it. And so, so yeah, if you guys are the praying type, uh, you know, that, that, yeah, my buddy is going through a bit of a rough patch, but I believe that he's gonna kick it with taking this approach. And you know, I think what I can't make his health decisions, but a lot of the stuff that I've researched has led me down the path of looking into alternative ways of healing rather than the allopathic medicine system that we currently have. And I do believe that there are a lot of solutions there, and I'm gonna do whatever I can to help him out. So Logan, bring as many eggs as you can. We'll buy barter as many as you got. You got it, bud. Angie Marie, sorry, that's rough. Yes, if he could do as much as he can with food, that will hopefully help. Yeah, I think that the fast is going to be a really positive thing, and that be praying for his healing, and do whatever I can to help them out while he's going through all this stuff. So yeah, that was something kind of heavy that I've been going through lately, but that also speaks to community. Is that like if you have somebody that is going through something like that in your community, that you can be there for them to to take up some slack with their efforts that they have going on. So yeah, another reason to have some folks around you that can be there for you um, if you're going through a personal rough patch too. Uh, so yes, it's important to build the relationships with folks and to you know have that positive in your life so that you know somebody could be there for you if you're going through a hard time. Um, so so yeah, another thing that I've been steadily working on, talking about getting the reps in, is that I have been on a health journey, and this all started when I went to the Self Reliance Festival in Camden, Tennessee, back in October of 2023, and I asked a question to John Willis about combating your negative thoughts and feelings on things, and he put a challenge to me of why don't you focus on getting yourself on working on yourself in the right condition and um, I think what he said was like you go do some intense workout and you come and tell me that you're having some negative feelings because it's like when you're putting yourself through that workout, like you're putting whatever you got into that each one of those workouts, and I'll tell you what, it's hard, and you're gonna suffer either way is what I've come to discover. You're gonna suffer if you're sitting there and just getting fat and you are going to have all these pains from your joints. I would have pain in my back and my lower back, um, carrying all that weight on me. You might have trouble sleeping. You might just feel like you don't have enough energy during the day, and you're going to suffer by your lack of effort in doing something. And then you're also going to suffer while you're putting in the work to improve yourself. So pick your poison. Pick on one side it's not poison. It's very helpful and it's very positive, and you're going to reap a lot of benefits from going down the path of the effort and the work toward getting yourself in a better condition. And then on that other end, you're going to suffer, uh, but you're not going to receive the positive benefit. And so somebody put the question out to me as I've been putting out the videos on the social media that I've been tracking all this on is the account Take the Ride 23. That's on Instagram and YouTube and TikTok, and I've got one on Twitter too. That they asked me like, how do you stay disciplined in doing this and doing this daily and consistently? And I put out a short answer that basically is how I feel is like I feel like chilling a lot of times and just not doing something, but then I think about what I just said, that I'm going to suffer if I don't put in the effort. And so that is part of why I continue to do it, because there is so much of a positive benefit that I'm receiving from putting in that work every day that I've built a momentum so far that has built this daily habit in that I yearn for it now. Like I still know that it's gonna suck, but if I don't achieve that, if I don't get that win for the day, that I know it's gonna make me feel a lot worse. And so uh, that is what's keeping me motivated and keeping me pushing down this path. So for folks that are out there and you know that you need to get in better shape to feel better about yourself, to have more energy, to just be able to handle things a lot better. And I'll tell you what, in a stressful situation, if you're going to go through some type of stressful situation, might as well put yourself through it now and put in the work now to be able to deal with increasing stress over time, because I have found doing these workouts that it does really help me deal with the outside world stress a lot better. That you get this workout and you get a lot of good endorphins and dopamine and all that through getting the workout done. So it's going to be a great stress reliever for you and help naturally cure a lot of that stuff, rather than looking to escape in some way through drugs or alcohol or prescriptions or any of that kind of stuff. Like, these things are the things that hold us in bondage, I believe, is all of our vices. And if you can get away from those vices, you're going to be so much happier with yourself and focus on doing something very positive, like getting like a daily thing exercise in. And don't make it hard. Don't make it hard. Don't make it complicated. Like, this is how I started. I started by finding some YouTube videos on how to do calisthenics, where you don't need any equipment and you don't need to go to a gym. You can find an empty area. What I've been doing is finding an empty space in the parking lot of my work and going and doing about 20 minutes of a workout every day on my lunch break. Now, I've also been doing one meal a day fasting, intermittent fasting with this. And so I don't need to spend that time at lunch eating. And so I can use that time that I have for my lunch break to get it in like a 20-minute workout. And I didn't have a timer, and I wanted to put out these videos as a part to hold myself accountable, because there's going to be people that are watching those videos and are going to say, "Hey, man, why haven't you put up something yet? And what's going on with you, man? Like, where's my workout video?" So partly it's for accountability, but also when I turn that video camera on, I don't have a way of timing myself in the workout. A lot of people like use some kind of a timer to figure out like I'm going as intense as I can for like a 1 minute time period, and then I'll take a rest after that till my heart rate comes back down a bit, so I feel like I can get into the next set. Well, I got a suggestion from somebody that was following me while I was putting out these workout videos, was to just go and do your sets until you can't do them anymore. So if I'm doing like a round of push-ups, doing sets of push-ups, basically I'm just going until I can't do any push-ups anymore in that set. And so I'm just taking it till I can't go anymore. and just repeating that for 4 sets. I pick 4 different exercises that are calisthenic exercises in every day that I'm doing, and in that way it keeps it really simple for me. All I got to do is complete each one of those sets, do as many repetitions as I can till failure, and that works out to be about a 20-minute workout for these calisthenic workouts. So I don't have a timer. I'm not looking up like a complicated workout program. I'm just keeping it real simple for myself and picking 4 exercises that I believe will be very helpful. And I'm just learning along the way, like watching different YouTube videos talking about targeting different muscle groups and what are some good exercises for each one of those muscle groups. Two of them that I've picked up recently have been these ones called one is called zombie squats, where you take a weight and you put your arms out in front of you, and this helps you work on your squat form, because if you have to hold your arms out in front of you holding the weight, and if you have improper form, you will drop the weight. And it helps keep your back straight and aligned while you're going into the squat, and it's really helpful for doing these squats. And I started off just doing body weight squats, just using my body, and then as you progress, and as I started to progress, that I was starting to do like more than I was doing like 40 or 50 repetitions just with my body weight. So at that point, I knew I needed to start adding some resistance to those leg workouts so that I could. I don't want to be doing like 50 repetitions to failure. It's just going to burn up too much. It's going to take a lot more time, and so I want to increase the intensity over a smaller amount of repetitions so that I can condense the workout. Is what I found. So yeah, those zombie squats, and then the other one for the back that I picked up recently. They're called Good Mornings, and you put the weight on your back, and then you dip down like you're bowing to say like the Japanese, basically like the Japanese bow, or like you're like bow, like saying hello to the sun. um, and that is a really good lower back exercise. You don't do a lot. You don't have to do. You don't want to do. I'm not trying to do any heavy weight with that, but just something I picked up as an exercise that is really helpful for that. So I'm learning a lot as I go here, and didn't really know anything going into getting these daily workouts going. Some folks gave me some suggestions. I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and that's been setting me on the path with that. I feel so much better about myself lately, and a lot of those negative feelings have, I still have the self talk, but like when you're going through that and you get those wins, it helps tremendously, so tremendously with my mood daily. So so I just wanted to go into more about that, and I think if you're looking to focus on that yourself, like reach out, ask me if you know you can ask me any questions, whatever. I'm glad to help you out. uh, you know Whatever I can do to help encourage you or get started, just get started on something that you can do, that you're gonna put in the effort and do it consistently. That is the key, I believe, to working on your fitness, your personal fitness, is find something you can do consistently that you're gonna stick to, and that could be going for a walk every day, which is a really really beneficial thing for folks, is going and walking. It's really really helpful for you. Um, You know, if it's some kind of a sport, maybe you like to play or take a hike in the woods, or you know, uh, maybe a fit like a fitness class, or going to do some kind of yoga or something. Like you just need to find something you like to do on a consistent basis. It's not gonna be fun. You're gonna you're gonna have a hard time with it, but I think that you got those two choices, right? You got the suffer uh, by not taking any action, or suffer and do something in the positive direction. Angie Marie, consistency is definitely the key. Yeah, that's what I found. And then also with the diet, it is a crucial component, and I have uh, been over that holiday, over the New Year's Christmas holiday season. Um, I got into the treats and the snacking and all that stuff, and staying consistent with the workouts. And so my weight loss was going down and down, and then I hit that period and I gained a little bit. And now I'll get back into the one meal a day thing, and maybe even gonna try a prolonged fast. But I have noticed while I'm training fasted, actually you would think you wouldn't have energy, but I feel like I have more energy while training and doing the workouts while I'm fasted than after I've had a meal. And so that's been something I've noticed that's been pretty interesting. So um, I really like the intermittent fasting approach so far from what been doing, and the experiment. I'm seeing the results coming back down with the weight loss. Was at 260 and stepped on the scale the other day, and I was down to 255 from 260. And then we took a waist measurement around the largest part of my waist. Uh, when I before I started this, I think my waist measurement was like 54 inches or something like that. And then it's now like 49 and 3/4. And then I was gonna measure myself before coming on the live stream tonight, but I didn't do that. But I'm still in the way overweight category. If you take the measurements that who's a Dr. Ken Berry talks about, doing the ratio of your waist to your height, and then basically anything that's over, I think like 0.53, you're in the you're in the obese category. So I still have a long way to go, but really um, staying consistent with it and getting those workouts in every day, and 135 days into it, and feeling great. So kind of just be cranking them out every day. So all right. So I'm gonna wrap it up here, but I want to share and promote some of my friends here, and want you guys to go check out all these cool folks. So Hideaway Homestead, go check out Logan at Hideaway Homestead. Go subscribe to his channel if you're looking into getting into more self-reliance. Logan is putting out daily videos and uploading daily videos on the stuff that he's doing, and really good information resource that you can catalog for yourself, download his videos and store them on your computer. For the information that he's putting out, it's really good information on how you can be more self-reliant on your homestead. Um, Also, I want you guys to go check out my buddy Shawn Mills. He's over at Hack My Homestead. He is a really great wealth of resource for if you're trying to go off grid, if you want to do some kind of a backup power system or anything like that. Shawn is the dude. He is another guy in our local area to go check out. And then I've got a buddy that at the makerspace that he does these fractal patterns in wood and makes some like really cool wood projects. You can find him Wells Lightning Wood. You can find him on Instagram. So let me see if I can pull him up on Instagram real quick uh, for you guys, so that you can go find him. And let me find his. Right, y'all. And show you guys some of his stuff. And then I have a good friend of mine that has started a ministry called Safe Haven Rescue Ministry, Nikki Boatwright. That she's in our local area, and she is running this ministry to help lift people up. You can go check her out at shrministries.org. And so let me grab my window here and show you guys all these links of the folks that I'm talking about. Um, so yeah, here is my friend Nikki's ministry. So you can go check out her website. She is raising money to work on building this vision for her ministry to help lift people up and help teach people skills. And she does a prayers and packages program where she goes out and provides things that people need that are on the streets, and helps people out with that. So if you want to learn more about her and her ministry, go check out her website there, uh, shrministries.org. Here is my buddy Chris Wells, that's out of our local makerspace here. And here are some of his projects. One of the coolest things that he's recently built, I think, is this really cool like table that's like a folding table that he recently did for somebody. So yeah, he does like this live edge wood stuff, and he adds a fractal pattern in there with an electric high voltage electricity, and burns in these patterns, and then puts epoxy in there, and he does all kinds of custom work. Here's another piece of his. Another table he's made. Here's kind of a big. Here's him using the high voltage from a microwave transformer, and you can see that in action right there. Some of his other projects. Here's one of the projects that he worked on. That uh, this is after they added lights to it. So, and how it folds out. Uh, he does really amazing work. If you want to go check him out, he's on Instagram, Wells Lightning Wood. If you want to get something custom made, he does all kinds of stuff. This is a folding bar that he made. Like you could set out for an outdoor kind of a little folding bar, so it can fold away when you're not using it. Um, so go check him out if you might be interested in buying a custom piece. He's uh, doing this as his full time thing now, so I want to promote him for going and doing his thing there. So yeah, here's Shawn there at Hack My Homestead, and he is a super wealth of knowledge. Anything you want to do as far as like off grid stuff, he's the man. He's the man. And then Logan is doing all this stuff with starting trees. He's got ducks. He's got rabbits. He's got a lot of stuff going on over there, and teaching you a lot of really good things about how to grow your own food and be more self-reliant. So go check that out. And then before we go, guys, the this Saturday, March 9th, in Cullman, Alabama, friends of ours Lee, Indiana, are putting on a mushroom log inoculation workshop. It is going to be on Saturday, March 9th, 1 to 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, over at Sportsman Lake Park there in Cullman, Alabama. Come and check out the workshop if you're in the area, and come hang out with some like-minded folks, and we can all nerd out together about growing food and being more self-reliant, and have a great time and build communities. Uh, so thank you guys. Thank you, Angie Marie, for coming and checking out the live stream. Thank you, Logan, so much for hanging out during the live stream tonight. And I'm going to leave it there for now for you guys. We'll catch you guys next week. Working on getting some guests in here. So thank you guys. And if you got some value out of this, share it with some friends. Help me grow the channel so we can get more folks to see that there's some cool stuff going on. So, all right, y'all. Leave it there for tonight. Thank you, Angie Marie. Thank you, Logan, for hanging out with me. And we'll catch you guys next week. Peace.